Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an update tarot reading for EXO members as a group, since you know that Kai is on enlistment, to be in the military service. So yes, let's see how this the group is going to get to go, and what's available for them in the next few months. So yes, let's see. From the tarot, they got the Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, Seven of Wands in reverse, Ace of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and then from the Oracle, they got the card of Sun in Pisces, Vision. So, honestly, it's very interesting that they start the reading with the Six of Pentacles, and then they end it with the Five. Um, I honestly think that they had been for a while, because this is not the first time that they get the Six of Pentacles or the Seven of Pentacles, and this is not the first SM group that gets these cards. That I think that if it has to do about receiving a financial compensation, or a right a good payment, or a payment or on time, like that the amount is satisfactory for both parties, or for all the members, or for the group resources. There seems to be always a sense that financially they are lacking. Like, I don't know why, but I always see, especially EXO, I have been pulling cards for them, and also the individual members, and there's always this sense of them asking for a fair payment, or for a fair retribution of something. And honestly, since there's pentacles here, I think that they definitely is what they are looking for, their stability, and they are looking also for the fair treatment. They definitely, I think that they have been like battling with this for quite a while, and probably in the next months is going to be the same. This is going to be a subject maybe of conversation among the fans, noticing a few things about, probably, I don't know, the quality of certain things about the group that is not worthy of the trajectory and how long they have been in the industry. Honestly, like, I sense a very uncomfortable position where they have to demand payments, or they have to talk about numbers. They have to become very, like, a bit fixated on, like, I want my money, like I want my check, or I want to see, I better see this reflected in my bank account, because I don't think, honestly, that their lives are that luxurious. I think that they also are very modest about some spending that they do, even though they are surrounded by luxury brands, and probably some of them are ambassadors. Honestly, if you're asking me what about what they earn, is it has moments where it's not as good as it should be. And then I see this King of Wands in here, looking at the Six of Pentacles. So definitely I sense that one of the members, potentially a fire sign, a member that is a fire sign. I know that in EXO we have two, that it would be Sehun and Daniel. One of them, or I don't know, I cannot think of other member that has a strong fire placement. I think that these two probably are the ones that are more interested in been a bit like fixated on like I'm going to keep asking you to give us what we deserve. Somehow I see the fire signs in the group being much more like dominant in that sense, like being like, we want to talk about certain things, we want to talk about numbers, like we want to receive this, we want a fair treatment, a fair payment. Definitely I see them like being very involved. I see them speaking up. So I don't know if maybe the fire signs in this group are also waiting for money to do some projects or to release something, maybe a project. Maybe they have a project that they want to accomplish, and they are waiting for the payment, or they are waiting for the resources. But I see the fire energy probably being a bit like, and this is not about only asking for the group. I think that they are asking for themselves as well. I don't know if there's an individual projects in there coming up, but the fire signs definitely are the ones that are that probably they had this conversation before, or there's a project of theirs that is already on the way or on the making besides EXO comeback. So because they are very much involved in this, they are like, okay, we got here first, so we are knocking on your doors and we are having this conversation. Like, do not ignore us. um and then yes, we have the seven of wands in reverse. So honestly, I think that for them it's all about push and pull with them. It's all about um being having to be a bit repetitive with their demands. I think that they probably when the comeback comes, they are going to start to be a bit more calm down, not so fiery, not so like on the defensive. They probably are going to get to a certain agreement. um Honestly, I think that they will like try to not be so much on the defensive. But I think that the fact that Kai is not there, or is not going to be physically part or present in the comeback. um they definitely feel the absence, and probably they will be like, okay, but okay, how do we do this, and probably they could, be like, okay guys, let's order our minds, our thoughts, our ideas. Let's do the best. Like, let's celebrate that we have this. Like relaxing, like putting down the guards, putting the guards down a bit, relaxing a bit, stop resisting what is coming, and adapting to, what they have to do is the job. But yes, there's a bit of like, okay, I'm learning to not get so much on the defensive. I'm learning to relax. I'm learning to adapt to this new situation. Like, I'm trying to not get so angry, because we have these ones here. So I'm like, the guys definitely feel, sometimes they do feel triggered for small things, but it's because they had been holding on to a lot of situations. They had been putting up with a lot of BS. So it's like, okay, I have to take a, a break. I have to like connect with my rational side. I have to, not get so much on the defensive, not argue with people, not start, raising my voice, listening to what the other part has to say, um and and I think that the possibility of them having a conversation, an honest one, is going to also help them, to adapt to these new times. But honestly, then we have, the Five of Pentacles. So, it's not. I don't think the situation is going to get better financially. I think that there's still going to be some. I don't think that is done to the group like with an intention, but there's something about the quality and the, what is being spent, or what is being, when it comes to resources, what is being given for the group promotions, etc. That always makes them feel like no one cares about them. Like okay, like you gave me this, or you gave me this, and actually it was average. We wanted more. I don't know. They just feel disappointed. They feel like, there are moments where they are like, are we still part of this company? I don't know. They just feel like, they are this urban legend. That, but actually when they are in the company, when they are working actively, they realize that, yeah, they get a lot of promises, and they have all these papers to sign, and they have all these conversations and planning, but when it comes to the real action, it's always disappointing. It's always like there's always something missing. So for them it's like, like, I'm not really that motivated. I'm not motivated financially. I'm not motivated, like, emotionally. Like, there's no connection. There's no, and I don't think that it has to do neither about the enlistment, neither about the fans. I think that the guys are like, okay, what else can we give if we always run out of resources, and like, it's everything seems very poor and limited for us. Everything seems like I don't know, like, um how many members are there without Kai? The number, because I'm trying to think. We have the leader, we have Chanyeol, Sehun, we have Chen, we have Dio, 6 members. Yeah, because I'm seeing at this Five of Pentacles, and I'm like, I don't know why I think that there's like a separation. I don't know if they are going to separate of units. I see 5 people in a sort of group. No, I see this five. I see this, that there's this five that is the people that probably are a bit like not excited. Like they are like, okay, we feel like we're always left out. And then you have the fire signs that they are more on the other side. They are more like separated in another unit, and I don't know if maybe it's because they work together on something else than EXO. So there's this sense of like, their priorities are different as well. They their minds are also elsewhere. They are not children. Also, I think that it has to do that they are not children anymore. They are grown men, And sometimes when they have to go back to that place, and hear all these meetings and reunite and hear all this planning and everything seems so like boring and so full of promises that at the end, when you are real like involved in the process of creating, you are like, okay, this is average. Like, I'm trying to get my hopes up here, but I think that I wanted more and look what I got. So um and also, probably yes, without Kai, maybe there's a low in the energy, a low in the energy. Like, they worry also about that, because Kai is this sort of like energy, energetic guy, very charismatic. And I'm not saying that the others are not charismatic, but I think that, you know, they are a bit exhausted. Like, it's like, okay, they don't pay me very well to to be more energetic or something like that. Um but it's all a process of learning and adapting, guys. It's all a process of learning and adapting. That's why in the middle of the reading you have the seven of wands in reverse, because they have to get out of this defensiveness. It's like, okay, maybe things are not looking great, like this maybe wasn't the way you wanted it to be, but stop resisting it. Like, connect with what you have. Connect with what you have. And also, what is important is that they talk to each other. I also sense that there's a sort of division, like the group is divided. I think that there are members that talk more with others than with the others. I think that there's a division. That's why we have the Ace of Swords in here. It's like, talk to each other. Talk to each other about, what's going on, about, if you have some doubts, if you have, um, because honestly, I think that probably the thing that they talk the most, like the thing they have in common, is to talk about finances. I don't see, like, like them opening up about other things. So, but yeah, and then from the oracle they got the card of Sun in Pisces, vision. So see, this is actually the only emotional card that I got that it has to do with Pisces energy. And also it has to do about them changing their vision. I think that the mood that they are like transiting right now, it's a very pessimistic mood. A very like stubborn kind of mood. Like, oh, I don't like this. Something like this. Like them being rejecting everything, like, oh, this is awful, I don't like it, something like that. Like, and the card of Sun in Pisces is like, come on, guys, this is teaching you to have a bigger vision of what's going on. Like, open your perception, open your intuition, open your eyes to what you have available. I think that once they are in contact with the fans, I don't know if they're going to have a concert. I don't know if they're going to have a fan meeting. I have no idea. But I think that if they have these encounters, they can feel the love and they can connect with emotion and they can connect with love. But everything else seems very cold in their lives. When it comes to the group, things seem to be meaningless for them somehow, because of how disappointed they had been feeling. But the cards of Sun in Pisces is like, come on, guys, look at the bigger picture. Look at the whole panorama. Embrace the whole. Embrace the wholeness. Like you have a lot of potential to connect with emotion again and also change your vision. They have to change their vision. They have to broaden their vision. They have to make their vision more broad, more expansive. They have to open up. They had been very much closed off emotionally. And even though they had instances, they have moments to meet the fans and talk to the fans and maybe have a fan meeting and laugh, probably things had been very awkward. And actually, they didn't get the response that they wanted, or maybe they felt like things weren't like they used to be. There's something about them feeling miserable sometimes, feeling like a bit pessimist, like, oh, I wish I could have done better. I wish we could have given something more. There's a lot of regrets. There's a lot of regrets. But I think that, they have to connect with having this bigger vision, this bigger picture, because otherwise they will not be able to recognize and reconnect with their power and how powerful they still are. It's just that they went through a lot. Their whole career, it seems like it's a whole struggle, it's a whole, clashes of opinions and people trying to take away their power and their possibility to choose, and them feeling guilty for a lot of things. They have to connect with emotion. They have to connect with healing at the same time. They have to embrace this new vision, and probably this year for EXO is also going to be very emotional. I think that they are holding on from feeling. They do not want to connect with emotion because they are afraid that they would, be overwhelmed with the emotion that they had been like keeping inside for so long. They don't want to show how vulnerable and sensitive they had been feeling as a group. It seems like they have so many things stuck in their throat that they wish that they could say, but they cannot say it because they want to look strong, they want to look mature, they want to look like they are like, we are like better, we are, we are advancing, we are men, there's this sense of like, there's something about the pride. I want to, like, they have me on this pedestal, so I don't want to fall from this pedestal. But actually these guys are human, and they went through a lot, individually and as a group. So it's normal. And I think that if they open up, the fans will take it, because the fans also probably had been seeing this, had been seeing the tiredness in their eyes, the frustration in their eyes, the uncomfortableness in their eyes. It had been very heavy. Like, I feel like I read for them and I feel a very heavy weight on my chest. Like, I cannot say the words, but I am tired, But I think that they need that reassurance from the fans, because they are very tired, honestly. They are very blinded by, they are like, what am I doing this for? This is why I think that it's important for them to also, with the card of vision, for them to see that there's more opportunities out there, there's more possibilities for them to make up, for them to reconcile with their craft, with themselves, with their history. There's a lot to do. But this year is going to be immense for them when it comes to then accepting that, yeah, it wasn't perfect and it was painful, and there were moments where I wanted to quit, but I'm here nevertheless. So yes, I would also advise the fandom to, to be bigger. I think that also probably, there's something about the fandom. Now, I'm not saying the whole fandom, but probably the fandom is also divided. There's a lot of like people just not being so supportive, or probably people who just don't want to be there, but they are there anyway and they're frustrated, so it's a sort of like a contagious feeling of like, oh, like I'm not sure if I want to be there, but I want to be here. But oh, I wanted to see this member, but this member is not here. But I guess I'm going to have to go anyway. There's a lot of complaining among the fans. So I think that the fans should also, the fandom also needs a detox from these negative people. So yeah. Yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.